Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
Injustice in our criminal justice system. We have more people incarcerated per capita here in the state of Louisiana than anywhere else in the world.
Why would you have a conviction rate in St. Tammany of almost 100%? It's unheard of.
Listen, people, it is time. We need your stories so that we can expose it to give a black man more time crimes against humanity that was taking place in the jail. We're going to have to expose it, people.
Yes, yes. Wow, how's everybody doing out there today? Today is Thursday, November the 10th, 2016. I would like to welcome everyone, all of my listeners that are out there today to the show. We have a great show here for you today. November 10th. Wow, people, it's a great time to be alive. It's a whole lot going on, and I'm kind of excited about it. And I hope that the time that we're in now and the things that we're seeing that's going on across the country right now is waking us up. Waking us up, people. Because if it ever been a time for us to wake up and realize that we need to unite and come together, now is that time. You know, that's been my hardest job, is trying to get the message across to people, the power of coming together in unity. Well, again, I would like to welcome you. I'm so glad to be back here in the studio with some of my favorite people. My producer, Mike and Tarek. I also have a guest here with me today in the studio. I know some of you had the opportunity to meet her on one of the hottest shows that we have had this year. So she's back again with me and proud to be here.
Yes, I am.
I'm going to give her a chance to introduce herself. I also want you to know that we're going to be talking about a famous person. Hopefully she's going to be live on the air with us. And I would like for everyone to go and get two of the two most powerful things in the world. I said two of the most powerful things in the world. Pencil and paper and write down the number so that you can call in to our show today. I know that I have some listeners out there that's been, I have already spoken to a few people on the phone today, and I want you to have the opportunity to call in so that your voice can be heard. You know, you're listening to Belinda Parker Brown right here on New Orleans Talk Network. That's NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. You can go and listen live at NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. You can also Facebook us. What we call that, Miss Parker? Facebook. Yeah, you can listen live on Facebook. All the social tools, all the social media tools that's out there, you guys know. Okay, I'm not really. I'm telling you, my 10-year-old is teaching me more stuff than I want to know about this social media. But I'm excited about it because it's time for the people's voices to be heard, and we want to use every tool that is available to us. So I want you to go and tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell everybody you know to call into our show, because we're here to expose the injustice in the criminal justice system. We also going to talk a little bit about this election. Oh, wow, election. I want the people to know that I've been focusing on the local elections. And hopefully I might have someone call in and tell us a little bit about what happened here in the state of Louisiana in our local elections. But I want you to call in, people, and voice your opinions. Let us hear from you today. The number is 504-341-8255. That's 504-341-8255. And I'm going to have Miss Parker introduce herself. Go right ahead and tell the people who you are.
Hello out there, everyone. My name is LaBertha Parker White, and I'm here to assist Miss Brown. We had such a great time last time, and I just had to come back. I always have a nice time when I come here. I love to get fired up, talking about all these different topics that we need to talk about today. And I'm just happy to be here. Thank you, Miss Brown.
All right, Miss White. I tell you what, you know, we was talking a little bit on the way here, and you know, we were sharing some of our thoughts and feelings about family, friends, and everybody's talking about what everybody else is doing. But the most important thing, people, is what you're going to do. What are you going to do? And I pause for a moment because of the fact that we are the busiest people in the world. I'm talking about African American people. We are some of the most busiest people in the world. Doing nothing. Now, I've been doing this show for a little over 3 years now, and I'm telling you, here at New Orleans Talk Network, we have some fantastic people here that have, you know, brung some very powerful tools together and to educate us, to embrace us, and to inform us, and to let us know how important it is for our voices to be heard. And we just not have seen the support that we would like to have. What are you waiting on, people? What are you waiting on? If we got to bag you, drag you, stomp you, kick you, push you to get you to support and help something that is good for you, that's helping you. Come on, Miss White. What is it gonna take?
I don't know. It's just my opinion. We as a people, Black African Americans, as you said, we just have always been against each other. And it's such a sad song because, I mean, everybody know that we, You know, we one of the biggest, busiest people. You know, but we just always been against each other. We, instead of lifting each other up, we tearing each other down at every angle. And it's time out for it. I think we need to just look around us and realize, you know, that we the only ones that's not sticking together and that's not, you know, getting nowhere. We think we're getting somewhere, but we're really not as a people. We're not. And, you know, we need to look around and, you know, stop pointing the finger at everybody else. Point the finger at yourself. And you know, that'll make a big difference. You know, everybody's pointing a finger at everybody else but themselves.
Wow. Well, with that said, I know we got a lot to cover today, and I'm excited about some of my callers. I don't like it when my people have to stay on hold. So I want to go straight to the phone lines, and then we coming back and we're going to take a break. But I got to hello, caller. Are you there?
Yes.
Wow.
This is Bass Ackwards.
I know that voice.
Bass Ackwards. How are you?
Well, how you doing, Mr.
Well, I'm pretty disturbed, Belinda. I've been watching the news and seeing a bunch of boneheads, knuckleheads, burning American flags, breaking picture windows in showrooms, destroying property, committing violence because they don't like the outcome of a fair American election.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Now, in the last election, when Barack won twice, you didn't see the Republicans going out and destroying property, burning American flags, beating people up, and all this. But on this side, we see it because Hillary lost.
Mm.
Now, you know, I didn't support Hillary because, holy mackerel, the stuff she did. I mean, she was under investigation with the FBI, so what does she do? Destroys, bleaches, completely obliterates 33,000 emails. Now, if she were innocent, why did she do that? You know, if you did it, if I did that, if we were under investigation with the FBI, and if a Joe Blow American citizen did that, we'd be under the jail. You know, when the FBI is investigating you, you don't go destroy evidence. She did it. She was on the committee when Nixon erased 17 minutes of tape, and Nixon was forced to resign.
Mm-hmm.
She destroyed 33,000 emails, and she got put up, you know, to run for president. You know, something's really wrong with this picture. The people that got killed in Benghazi, there's so much this woman's been up to. We didn't elect her because we don't trust her. I mean, you know, she could give Pinocchio lying lessons. And that's why the American people didn't vote for her, because we don't trust her. We think she is a crook. And I'm going to be very disappointed if she isn't investigated, we get to the truth of what's happened, and she has to be held accountable. No one's above the law. No one, but she seems to think she is, you know.
Well, tell me, Phil. I know we can talk about that all day long, but you know how I feel about dishonest people. You know,
sure.
Hypocrites. You know, liars.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all of that. But I want you to just weigh in on from your perspective. You know, I know you are. You know, tell the people what your nationality is.
I'm Italian American, but mostly I consider myself American.
Mm-hmm.
But my heritage is Italian, 100%.
Okay.
You know, my people are from Italy, and I'm very proud of that. Mm-hmm. You know, most people came to America without the pot to pee in or window to throw it out of.
Mm-hmm.
And we worked hard and worked hard. Look at the Korean people. They've come over here without anything, and they've worked so hard. The Vietnamese people. And that's something to be proud of. In America, if you put yourself to it, if you work hard, you can make something of yourself. And not all people do that, you know. Mm-hmm. And there's so much the Italian people, the Polish people, the Korean and Vietnamese people have done. The Latinos, I love Latino people. They're a great bunch of people. And, you know, I'm proud of that. That's what America's all about. And that's what this election was all about. You know, can anybody give justification for anybody to get out there and burn Old Glory, burn the American flag? I mean, I think that all these people that want to burn the American flag and commit violence because of a fair election, well, let's give them all free rides to North Korea. Kim Jong-un, he'll be happy to have them over there and put them to work in North Korea. Workers' paradise. And let's see how far they could go over there if you just raise your little pinky the wrong way. You're in a labor camp. You know, try burning a Korean flag over there. You know, let's give them all free rides. You know, let's see how they like it in North Korea. Now, one-way rides at that. You know, let me hear a justification for anybody to burn the American flag in this country or any country. The other countries do it because they're stupid. They're idiots. You know, they're being forced to do it, or they're just too ignorant to know what freedom is, and they can't appreciate freedom. America has made this world free. You know, the Nazis took over Germany. Who went over there and kicked their butts? Right? Even, I'm ashamed to admit this, but in Italy, when we had Benito Mussolini, a fascist, take over Italy, who kicked them in the butt? Japan with Tojo. You know, anywhere in the world, America has tried to make the people free and to keep them free. And some of these people in the Middle East, I'm ashamed to say, don't know what freedom is, or they don't want it. They don't care. They're too dumb to understand it.
Well, Phil, tell me, you know, with your nationality, what is it that the African American people need to do? I mean, because just, you know, I want to hear from you. I know that some of the stuff that you're saying is kind of tight, you know, for some of our listeners out there, but I want to hear, you know, I have a lot of respect for you. I think that you're a brilliant person. You have experienced a lot, you know, in your lifetime. In your lifetime, you know, I had the opportunity to meet you.
I think that.
But what is it that the African American people need to do? Yes,
African American people are doing fine. I'm so proud to see a lot of African American. I consider us Americans. You know, if they're black with the nationality from before, that doesn't matter. I've seen so many of them that are doing so well. You know, the churches, boy, when I see black churches, I'm so proud to see what they're doing, that they're out there worshiping God and, you know, practicing the things that they're taught in the church. You know, I could name you so many. I was so sad when some knucklehead burned down a church. I'm not for Greenwood or someplace, and I want to get out there and help those people, raise money, you know, to help rebuild it. Well, you know, it really makes me mad when I see that. Yeah. Somebody did it, and it was wrong.
And you're absolutely right, but, you know, you live there in St. Bernard Parish, you know, and me and you had the opportunity St. Bernard, I'm sorry. And me and you had the opportunity to talk about some of the, you know, a situation where there was some injustice.
Oh, terrible. Why
don't you share that story with our listeners that happened amongst the parish government?
Well, I think some of it's going to be coming up in trial, and I don't know if it's right for me to...
No, we don't want to say anything about that. We want to talk about the disadvantage of an African-American business.
Well, we had a child care center, and some black people wanted to lease it, and, you know, we leased it to them, and we were helping them get it on the way. We thought it was great. Good diversity. St. Bernard needs that. And they were told that, well, we were told they were never going to get a permit to open, you know, unless a lot of silly conditions were made that had nothing to do with them or their child care center. These were great people. They were multilingual. They weren't just going to open a child care center. They were going to open up a, what's the word, Montessori?
A Montessori learning center.
Right. This was going to be great. But you know, they didn't get a fair shake, and this is coming from a parish that told us that, if we had to sell our property, it had to be to a blood relative or a relation. It couldn't be to just anybody off the street. And, a place that didn't allow some buildings that were going to be put up for low-income people to have decent housing. They weren't given electrical permits. And on both of these cases, they lost millions and millions of dollars, stuff that we taxpayers are paying for because of doing illegal things.
So you're talking about after Katrina, that parish literally put in measures or blocked people that from selling their property or to a African American. Why don't you talk a little bit about that, Phil?
Well, that happened. I mean, it's all public record. A lot of people, we were told, if you're going to sell it, it's got to be to a blood relative or somebody. You just can't sell it to anybody. Or rent, too. And that's not the right thing to do. I believe it was all in the papers and it was all exposed, and I think they were fined heavily for that. There were a lot of lawsuits that they had to pay off on. And, it's just not the thing to do. This is America. You don't do stuff like that.
But this was just targeted towards the African American people, and right here in Louisiana in your parish. But
it didn't come out where it was against them. I mean, what else would it be? It's ridiculous. They have a place right behind the hospital and right on St. Bernard Highway, close to where the old show was, where they wouldn't give them the permits, the okay to have the electricity turned on. And they were getting fined so much a day or a week for, not doing it. And that went up into millions of dollars. As a result, the taxpayers have to bill to pay for all these millions of dollars in fines when they finally relented and had the electricity turned on. I mean, I believe this is all public record,
Well, what my concern is, I want to know, how does that make you feel? I mean,
upset. I mean, really, it's America. It's not supposed to be that way. I mean, we personally had a child care center, and, they knew who was trying to run it, and it's not acceptable. I mean, we ran it for years. We had some white folks that ran it after we retired. And then these folks tried to come in, and they weren't given a permit for a long time. And then Katrina came along, and that, with the flood and everything, that ruined it. They went to the West Bank or someplace.
Wow.
And I'll tell you, personally, I don't recommend St. Bernard for anything. Nothing. And Louisiana is even a hard place to do business. I mean, they don't call us the Banana Republic for anything,
Do you think that this happens to everyone? Because you say you had a white family in there, a white business.
Oh, yeah.
But when it came to the black business,
when we ran it, everything was okay. When the other white folks ran it, everything was okay. When the black folks came along, the brakes came on. We were told certain conditions. We had to do things, and if we didn't do them, they were never going to be getting a permit. And it had nothing to do with this property. It was about other properties we own.
Okay,
not even around there.
Tell me this, Phil. Do you feel that this black, business were they qualified?
Qualified. They were more qualified than us or the people that took over after us. They won't put it up in Montessori. They were going to teach these kids French, Spanish, different languages, computer skills. I mean, and they were the nicest people in the world. It broke our hearts. We did everything we can to help them, and somebody comes along and says, we're not going to let them open up.
Wow. So I kind of feel like you wanted to go to bat for them. We
did. The car hurricane came along, and then the flood, and then that was it. And there wasn't any going about for anybody. Everything was destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
And we should have been opened up first. We should have been the very first business opened up.
Mm-hmm.
Because we had hired a guy from Texas, a construction company.
So
well,
tell me,
I can't really get
right?
into
You can't really get into that, but tell me.
The forged paperwork and then phony insurance.
Right, but tell me
had
this.
Some people that were very dishonest, and it's been dragging until.
Do you feel like because you wanted to go to bat for the African American business, to acquire their permits, that you also came up on the fire, or they begin to
I'm on the fire now.
make things difficult for you? Mm-hmm.
I feel like a little duck at Pontchartrain Beach at the shooting gallery.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, I'm going to do what's right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, in America, it's not supposed to be. I mean, you can be proud of your heritage. Black people with soul food and jazz, Italian people with Italian food and opera and all kinds. There's a lot of things everybody could be proud of.
Mm-hmm.
But basically we're all Americans, and that's why I'm so disappointed over this Trump election. I mean, he was elected fair and square, and I see a bunch of people saying he's not their president. Now, I didn't agree with Barack Obama on a lot of things, and a lot of things we were proven right that he didn't do right, that were messed up. But I never burned an American flag. I don't think any of Republicans did. We didn't go out and commit violence. It's disgraceful. I mean, the communists and the terrorists all over the world are laughing at us to see these people do the things they're doing, burning the American flag, committing violence, having marches against a fair election. We're trying to bring freedom to the world, democracy, and then we're not seeming to have it over here because they didn't like the outcome of the election.
Mm.
I still want to hear one of those folks give a logical explanation for burning the American flag, for breaking private property, picture windows, and showroom windows on the street, the shops.
Wow.
There's no excuse for that. But I want to hear somebody try to do it.
Well, when people are hurting, and I really can't judge them, Phil. I'm not in a position to do that. But, buddy, I certainly appreciate you calling in and telling us your opinion. It's good to hear your voice.
Oh, it's always good to talk to you, that's for sure.
Well, right. And, we're going to be meeting up here pretty soon. Next week I'm going to be free. I'm going to set some time aside so I can come out there and meet you.
Right. Keep up the good work. And,
mm-hmm.
I'm just sorry that we have to be talking under these circumstances, where people are out doing what they're doing because they don't like the outcome of a fair election.
And not only that, when you say that, Phil, I think about that black business that wanted to come to your St. Bernard.
Yeah.
And they were blocked, they were stopped, and they, I don't know what type of frustration or, it makes me angry to just think about the fact that they did not have an opportunity there. I would want to protest and take the streets and because that's just my personality to do that, to fight back against people that's trying to block and stop me from opening up a business that I'm very well qualified to do.
It's good to protest, but we can't burn an American flag. We can't destroy any property.
Well,
we
again,
can't commit crimes.
Again,
legal like Martin Luther King did.
Well, no, we don't. I don't. Right, I do not recommend violence. I definitely stand for peaceful protesting, but we need more people like you. Like you said, you had to you put your family in a real bad situation to go up on the fire, go to bat for these young women that wanted to start a business there, that that was very well qualified. But look what happened. You know, these people that blocked her and stopped her, the parish government, whoever they may be, I wish I could call some names, you know, who actually felt like they had the right to just say they don't want a black business in the neighborhood.
Yeah, well, St. Bernard's going to always be St. Bernard. It used to be a
You know, they are Americans too. So what gives them the right to think that they can block and stop somebody from starting a business that, you know, come on, Phil, think about it.
I know. Hey, listen, you're preaching to the preacher.
You know,
I mean,
this stuff is wrong.
I was just perfect. I did everything right. Everybody sinned. You know, anybody that was perfect was Jesus Christ, and there was only one of him.
Okay.
But there's no reason to do wrong things, ever.
Right, and you're absolutely right, buddy, and I thank you so much, and I got to come and see you, though. So thank you for taking your time out to call in today.
And it's always good to hear from you.
And you too now. We'll be talking soon.
Take
all
care.
Right, we got to get ready and go to a break, and I want all my callers to hold in because we're coming back with Who's Who. And I think her book is in the top 10, Miss Sherry Hill. Just hold tight, and we'll be right back. We're going to break.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business. New morning show alert. New morning show alert. The Warren Ballantyne Show airs daily from 9 to 11 a.m. Central Time, bringing you the news you need to know. The Warren Ballantyne Show, now on the New Orleans Talk Network.
This is Captain Black.
This is Brother Al Mims. Join us for our new show,
The Hostages That Fight Back, Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Central.
We are all hostages to something,
but it's up to us
to find the courage to fight back and make the change.
So tune in to become the change you want to see in the world, here on New Orleans Talk Network.
Brothers and sisters! Brothers and sisters! I don't know what this world is coming to.
Happy Merry Mondays. It's your girl, Mary J. I want you to tune in with me to Real Talk with Mary J on New Orleans Talk Network every Monday morning at 10 a.m. Then follow me to blogtalkradio.com/Real Talk with Mary J at 10 p.m. It's going to be a Merry Monday every Monday at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. You've just tuned in to New Orleans Talk Network.
What's up, New Orleans? Listen, this your man Fred, host of your #1 sports talk show down here in New Orleans. Yeah, I said it. Fan View, where real fans talk about real sports. Join me, Bank Boy Recite, your people's man B, and Madman the Big Fan as we talk about all the latest sports topics going down here around the country. Again, Fan View, where real fans talk about real sports.
today's New Orleans Talk Network. It's today's hottest topics with an added flair. You get ready, because the conversation will be hot, and better yet, mobile. Download the New Orleans Talk Network app, available on Android, iPhone, iPad, and you can listen to us on the web at www.neworleanstalknetwork.com. Write down our talk line at 504-341-TALK. That's 504-341-8255. Interactive and worldwide. That's what we are. Join in on the real conversation and tell a friend about the New Orleans Talk Network.
Hey, how you doing, Miss Parker, over there?
I'm doing pretty good in yourself.
We got some people fired up.
Yes, indeed.
We got some people fired up on that last call.
I think so.
I think Phil did that. You know, he done got my phone lines blowing up and people calling in. They want to talk to you, Phil. So I'm all about letting the people's voices be heard. I'm not trying to shut down nobody. Okay, if they got something to say, tell the people what it is you want them to know. But right now, I got to go to my phone lines, and I got to, I tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to let this young lady introduce herself, because I had the opportunity to meet with her last weekend, and me and her, we was having some serious chat. And I'm going to tell you right now, she is a very, very powerful, educated, brilliant, that has been brilliant lady that has been accepted the nominee of Who's Who worldwide. Who's Who? Miss Sherry Hill, are you there? Hello, Sherry, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Belinda, how you doing?
Girl, I'm looking at your beautiful face in this picture here of you accepting this award, this Who's Who award. And I want you to go right ahead and take your time and introduce yourself and tell the people what it is they need to know.
My name is Sherry Hill, just as you stated. I'm the mother of the late Marquise Hill, who played with the LSU Tigers, and his coach was Nick Saban. And he was drafted in the second round with the New England Patriots. Of course, as everybody knows, he was killed in 2007 on a jet ski accident in New Orleans at the Lake Pontchartrain.
Wait a
by the lakefront.
Wait a minute. What year was that?
2007.
2007. Wow.
And I actually started writing the book 3 days before the accident.
Wow.
And that's what I'm on here for, because I'm promoting my book, The Marquise Hill Story from the Cradle to the Bowl.
From the cradle to the bowl. Well, go right ahead. Take your time, Ms. Hill, because, as a mother, I know that I could not be touched with what it would be like to lose a child, because I have never lost a child before. But I want you to take your time and tell the people why, what inspired you to write this book about your son.
Actually, my son and I had discussed, I'd say a year before he was drafted, because of all the hurdles that he had to come across or jump over, he and I, through life. And he said, Mom, you know what? My story is really extraordinary, because I'm just blessed to get to this point in life. And we just talked about it, and we said we were going to do it, which he was really planning to do, and I was just going to assist him. I never thought this day I would be the one that had to complete it. But actually, just after Katrina, 2 years after Katrina, I think it was a Wednesday just before Memorial Weekend. I was just sitting at the table, because he was working on the house he had purchased for me. It was an 8,000 feet house, which material things don't mean anything. And I just, for some reason, I just started writing out like the master just spoke to me and said, it's time. And I just started writing, and I had wrote the title of the book, all the chapters written out, outlined. When New York Times came to visit me after his accident, they were just floored. They couldn't believe I was actually writing a book.
Wow.
And I had to show it to them in the computer, but I had all the chapters written out, not filled in. And I called him to come see what I was doing because it was just like it was falling from the sky. He said, oh, no, Ma, I got to go check with the contractors because, like I said, we were just in the middle of, trying to rebuild. This was like 2 years after Katrina. And that's how the story started, and I just been going at it ever since. He had over 100 scholarship offers coming out of high school.
Yeah,
he had 6 rings before he turned 23.
Wow.
Yes.
Let's talk about, because, in this book you touch on a variety of things. And one of the things that touched me when I read about when he was it high school that he was in, Sherry, when he had an incident where he was the one that actually was breaking up a fight?
Right. Well, he was taunted with some racial slurs, which he never have experienced before.
Okay.
That's what happened, and he actually went to the track meet, and that's what they were facing.
Mm-hmm.
He said, Mama, I felt like Martin Luther King, because this was new. And, he told the guy, he said, we're not over here for that. We're over here for a track meet. And, he walked away, turned his back, and he was just slammed. And he just responded back and hit the person back. But he was put in a police car with handcuffs.
Mm.
And that was a whole, which I discuss all that in the book. But it didn't turn out good. But,
yeah,
that's the reason why he... Mm-hmm.
I wanted to say that because, your son was, his size was humongous. Okay. I'm looking at him. He was a big guy.
Right.
and you know what was happening in the country now, big is bad because, when the police run up on a big, especially black African American man, and I have some big sons. My oldest son is 36 years old, and he's about 6'8", about 280 pounds. And, all of my sons are big. And and my thing is that, is as a mother, I tell him, I say, if you get pulled over by the police, don't get out the car. Sit still, shrink down in the seat.
Correct.
So, but I read this chapter in the book where you begin to talk about how your son was, he was up against to prove his innocence. And there was a man, I can't remember, but there was a man that told you basically that you he knew that your son was innocent of what they was
charging him with.
Now this man was white.
Yes.
Yes. But
he happened to see the whole incident. That's the reason why I knew it was a setup. It was just totally wrong. I mean, it was like they stuck a dagger or a knife in my back and asked me why I'm bleeding. It just I hurt what it was because they started to prosecute him at 17. Well, the accident happened at 17, but they waited to go to court at 18, so I wouldn't have no rights. That was the trick of the court.
Wow. Yeah.
And my attorney that I hired worked along with the court. So where do you win?
Go right ahead and share that, Sherry, because I feel that there's so many mothers out here, grandmothers as well. And this is basically what our show kind of tend to focus on, because that's why when I got to that chapter in the book, I just, I hung my head and I just began to sob because of the fact that, here, this young man was, totally innocent, and he was framed to be trapped in the system.
Correct.
And that I'm going to tell you, I hear so many horror stories about mothers and grandmothers and grandparents that, try to avoid that trap that is, like you say, is by design, to get them into the system. Share, how you felt about that. If you want to just go ahead and just say, a little bit about how it all came about, so that bring people up to speed.
Really, be honest with you, Belinda, I was angry. I was fighting, and only consolation I had was church. I had to go to church. I had to pray, and I never forget Bishop Martin had preached a sermon about the giants, and but we still the majority with God, and that's what kept me going. And because of the incident, my son who attacked him was official son. So, I had to deal with that. So the court was for them. But my son's civil rights were violated. And I knew that. But my son, they was threatening him with a felony if he go to trial. And because he turned 18, I had no voice. And that's where the trick came into the legal system. And my son, he had 100 scholarship offers. He was, he had worked hard for that. He didn't want to take a risk of getting a felony charge and lose his scholarship. So it was hard for me to convince him not to do whatever. So he took a plea just to get rid of it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I had to let him go with what he felt comfortable doing. And then when the end of the day came, it turned into a lawsuit, which they settled. I refused to settle. I just told them, just lock me up, because I'm not agreeing with none of it. So that's how that fared out. But it wasn't a fairy tale ending either.
Wow. Listen, people, hold on just a moment, Sherry. This is Mrs. Sherry Hill, and the book is titled The Marquise Hill.
The Marquise, like the diamond.
See, my youngest son's name is Marquise, and he spelled his name Marquice.
That's really why you're getting them calls.
Yeah, but the title of the book is Marquise Hill's Story from the Cradle to the Bowl. And I have his mother here on the phone, live on the phone with us today, people. And we're talking about the book that God inspired her to write. Actually, 3 years. You began to write the book 3 years, Sherry, before the accident?
3 days before the accident.
Oh, 3 days? Oh, my gosh.
Yes. Not 3 years, 3 days.
3 days before her son was accidentally killed on a jet ski accident.
Correct.
Wow.
Lake Pontchartrain.
In Lake Pontchartrain. Okay, we want to come back. We're going to go take a break, and we want to come back. Sherry, you stay online, and we want to talk about, we talked a little bit about the cradle, but we want to talk about to the bowl, and then we want to talk about how you have been so strong throughout this entire ordeal in your life to finish the book. Not only start the book 3 days before his death, but actually finish the book. Okay, so hold on. We'll be right back. We're going to go to break.
Okay. All right.
Wow. Mike, are we ready? Wow.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
Are you a member of Bedside Baptist? Well, now you can join Bethesda House of Prayer every Sunday for our live broadcast. It starts at approximately 9:45 every Sunday morning. Just go to NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com and click play. We can't wait for you to join us from your home. And don't forget, if you want to join us live and in person, service starts for 9 a.m. and we are located at 7601 West Lake Expressway, Marrero, Louisiana, 70072, Suite C.
This is Captain Black.
This is Brother Al Mims. Join us for our new show,
The Hostages That Fight Back. Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Central.
We are all hostages to something,
but it's up to us
to find the courage to fight back and make the change.
So tune in to become the change you want to see in the world, here on New Orleans Talk Network.
Brothers and sisters! Brothers and sisters! I don't know what this world is coming to.
What is New Orleans Talk Network? It's today's hottest topics with an added flair. You get ready because the conversation will be hot and better yet, mobile. Download the New Orleans Talk Network app available on Android, iPhone, iPad, and you can listen to us on the web at www.neworleanstalknetwork.com. Write down our talk line at 504-341-TALK. That's 504-341-8255. Interactive and worldwide. That's what we are. Join in on the real conversation and tell a friend about the New Orleans Talk Network.
What's up, New Orleans? Listen, this your man Fred, host of your number one sports talk show down here in New Orleans. Yeah, I said it. Fan View, where real fans talk about real sports. Join me, Bank Boy Recite, your people's man B, and Madman the Big Fan as we talk about all the latest sports topics going down here around the country. Again, Fan View, where real fans talk about real sports.
We're back. Okay, Miss Hill. Hello, Miss Hill. Sherry. Okay, Mike. Is Sherry still there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, all right, Sherry. All right, girl. Wow. We got about 5 more minutes, and I want you to I wanted, one of the points that I really want to bring out is that the power of a single parent. You said that, how determined you was, how difficult it was for you as a single parent, but you were determined. You were determined to make sure. Yes. So go right ahead.
Amen. Mm-hmm. Yes, I just want to make it clear that, today you have a lot of single parents, especially females, and you have fathers as well. And I was a college graduate when my son was born. I mean, I was 3 years out of college. Mm-hmm. And I always say and I always preach, because I was a director of a preschool in the projects, Desire Project, and I always talk to single moms because they were struggling as well. These fathers need to, if they're not with the mothers of these children, they need to be in their lives because it's important.
Wow. Yes.
And that's really been a downfall in the family structure of the black family. And that's where we having a lot of problems because these kids they only fathers or mentors, they know the ones in the streets and who doing the wrong thing. Mm-hmm. So what else do you expect for some of the kids because they don't have nobody, no role model. And that's where it hurts because my son needed a role model when he was growing up, but You know, I had brothers. My brother was a football player with Alabama, but all the time it can't be sports. Everybody can't play football. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Everybody can't.
Right.
You know, everybody needs to, you know, have a goal mindset. I always told my son, you have a plan A and a plan B. My son didn't have a father, but I told him he couldn't use that as an excuse to not do it. So that's what I drilled into him. And you can't talk negative to your children because you're not with the father. You got to be positive, or you're not with the mother. That's important because the children's self-esteem is important, and that's what you have to do. You know, you have to be consistent with raising kids. That's another problem. You know, parents can't be in the club 7 days a week and expect the children to be productive. You know, in life, you got to have some children time, some me time, some special time for your kids. And, you know, it just has to be. And our culture always has been rich as far as family-oriented, but somehow, for some, it has been lost by the wayside. And we got to pick up the torch and keep it going. And I think that's key. Don't you think that's key?
I think that's key, and I think it's very well said, and I'm going to tell you, it's very powerful coming from you because you did it. You did it, and that's what people need to hear. You know, you've been there, and you did it, and you have the platform to share it. And in this book, I really feel strongly that every parent, every mother need to, especially mothers, but fathers too as well, need to pick up this book, need to get this book, need to read this book because, you know, the book is very well written. It's an easy read. I mean, it's very powerful. The pictures and everything, it brings you into reality. It also gives you an embrace type feeling where you can actually relate. There were so many things in the book that I read that I can just actually relate to and become, you know, make it a part of my own. Especially the poem at at the end of the book. Everybody, I almost want you to say this on the air. You know, the Hey Mama poem that you wrote, and I really feel like we just could give them just a little taste of it, Sherry, because they need to get this book and they need to read it and cherish it for themselves. But the Hey Mama, I was gonna let Miss Parker just read the first. Do you have a minute? We want to read just the first.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't have the book on me.
Yeah, she's gonna read it. We're gonna read it over the air, but we're gonna entice people to go and buy this book right now because they really need it. If they hear it, they hear this little piece that we're gonna read, then they need to go get the book so they can get the rest of it. Go right ahead.
Every time I read it, I cry.
Oh, girl, do you cry? Oh my God, it is so. I mean, it's just overwhelming. It was overwhelming for me. I couldn't help but just sob over it. Go right ahead, Miss Parker.
Yeah.
The poem is entitled "Hey Mom." To hear you say "Hey Mom" would be music to my ears. To hear you say "Hey Mom" from you, son, would dry up all my tears. Taking care of my heart for the rest of my years. I would give all I have and know it would be worth it just to hear you say, "Hey, Mom," once again.
So, all right. You want the rest of it, people? Tell them how they can go and get your book, Sherry. We want to give that, put that out there.
Okay, you could go to Amazon. It's on Amazon ebook. It's, that's electronic ebook. I have physical books myself. You can email me at hill.sherry9469@gmail.com. And, and just email me and let me know, and we could make arrangements. You could send a check to me, a money order. I prefer money orders, and up to $20, which I have to pay for the postage. But the books are actually $15.99, but with postage it's $20. And I'll send you a signed copy by myself. And Exeblers has it on the physical book, but I think it's $20 plus shipping is more. And I think they have it on eBay as well, that I remember. And those are the physical books. but I know you can read the electronic book on Amazon.
And you were also interviewed by New York Times.
Right.
You were tell us about your NFL network and the foundation of your son, and then we're gonna let you go, Sherry. And I hope to get you in the studio with me someday so that we can talk more about this fantastic story of you and your son.
Okay. Yes, I was interviewed by New York Times. Wasn't about a week after the death, and NFL Network, all in Boston Globe. You know, that's where my son's team was located in Boston. And I had several interviews. I just received the Newsom Award in Baltimore, Maryland. And I was, like you said, a who's who. The International Women's Leadership Organization recognized me for my book, my tenacity, my dealing with this issue and spreading it. They recognized me for that. And so overall, I've been blessed. I'm working on a children's book. And my mom just passed in April. So I'm getting ready to finish her cookbook because she has $1 billion recipes. And I'm working with an actress and a producer, possibilities for movies. But, we have a ways to go, but I'm trusting God.
Yes,
that He's going to work it out. So we taking baby steps, but we getting there.
All right. Well, honey, I am so excited for you. I told you, listen, people, this is a powerful woman, and I really feel that she's going to make a tremendous impact on what our children's future are going to look like. So we definitely need to support her. And you also have the Marquise Foundation too, Sherry. The Marquise Hill Foundation.
The Marquise.
Marquise.
I'm like the diamond.
I just told
you. You said that you were giving your car name, huh? Marquise Hill. Yeah, I have the foundation, the Marquise Hill Foundation. Because my mom was ill, I haven't really been working hard on it, but I'm working at it now, to work on that part. I am a member of the Professional Football Players Mothers Association, so we do a lot of community services in the city. We just had a food collection over there on the West Bank just this July, where we collected over 400, I think it was 5,000 pounds of food, and we collected about $500 or $600.
Wow.
So I'm still working the professional football players. You can go on to pfpma.org. You go online and just put in NFL moms, it'll come up.
Wow.
But I'm working both ways, and I'm the regional coordinator of that organization for the South Central region. That's Louisiana, Texas. So this is my region here.
Well, honey,
so we're doing a lot of things here.
Well, I'm going to be looking forward to
Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Oh, wow. I'm going to be looking forward to getting you live in the studio with me so we can talk about some of these great things that you're doing across our state and the country.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to it. We're out of time. I'm sorry. I do have to rush off. I got one caller on the line. I got to get that caller because if not, they're going to get mad at me.
Okay.
So
all right.
Thank you so much, Sherry.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for the good work that you're doing for the community, and your hard work is paying off. So
all right,
I want to thank you for being, who you are. You
wonderful.
Being you. That's a blessing.
And the same to you, back double to you, and I'm looking forward to us hooking up and doing some great things together too as well.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Have a good day.
Sherry Hill, everybody. I want everybody to go and get the book. If you have any questions or you can't find the book, then you need to call me. Okay. Caller, are you there? Hello.
How y'all doing?
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah, Miss Belinda?
Yes, I'm here. Go right ahead. Take your time. We're out of time, but we got a few seconds. So.
Man, I listened to the whole show. I think the book. I want a copy of the book. Okay. I need to read the book.
All right.
So I'm gonna go ahead on and get me a copy of that book so I can read it. I'm also, I'm happy to hear that the NFL got the NFL Moms organization, and the NFL moms are important. They're bringing up these young men to be, fellas in our community. So that's what's up. I appreciate listening to that call right there. But I really call in concerns to your first caller.
Mm-hmm.
In the first half of his call, I listened to his entire phone conversation too. He came onto the conversation and he was like really boiling my blood with some of the comments he made in the first half of his conversation. pertaining to the election and people going out and protesting. The demonstration, in my humble opinion, is showing the world that we do not approve of this election. The electoral vote, to me, is a delicate process. It may be outdated, but, it's the electoral vote. What can I say? Louisiana only gets 8 electoral votes, but I do know for a fact that the Don't Trump protest was here in New Orleans last night, and they made a lot of noise. It was throughout the entire country. The Don't Trump demonstration was a demonstration by people who are protesting not that Hillary lost, it's more or less that Donald Trump won this election. He is a straight-up clown, and we gave this man the most important seat in our country, and to some, the most important seat in the world.
Wow.
With no experience at all.
Okay,
so,
caller.
Remember this song we used to sing about President Reagan, ladies and gentlemen, cats and dogs, President Reagan got a hole in his drawers?
Yes.
We got two versions. Y'all want to hear it?
Yeah,
go like this. Ladies and gentlemen, cats and dogs, Donald Trump looked like a pumpkin ball. It's not too big. It's not too small. And anybody who voted for him, we need to deport all y'all. That's the new song that all our children need to sing that song, because that's how I feel towards the Donald Trump voters.
Well,
were you about to say something? I think these people elected this man in response to a black president.
Well,
Donald Trump is the voice for the people out here who feel. I spoke with my brother and I said this. White people are getting mad and frustrated. They cannot use the N-word without losing their life. Anybody else could use the N-word except white folks. White folks, they say that N-word, is the hammer is coming down on them. We've seen an NBA owner use that N-word, and he lost his franchise. Okay? White people are disgusted with that, and I'm not sympathizing with them. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on with Trump voters. Every time I hear someone talk about Donald Trump and why they voted for Donald Trump, they say, I love his personality. They elected this man on the strength of his personality.
Well, on that note, I gotta let you go. We're running out of time, caller.
These people elected this man. They're going to have buyer's remorse in the next 2 years. And the guy who called earlier, I like the second half of his call. But if he doesn't understand this demonstration, we are showing the entire world that we do not accept him for our president, and the world needs to know that. So I support this demonstration 110%.
Well, I want more people that's out there listening, because this is a show where you can let your voice be heard, and you just heard it. You just heard it, people, from the callers calling in. So I need more people to call in and voice their opinions on the good, the bad, and the ugly. And like I said in the beginning of the show, it's not what they gonna do, because I don't know who they is. It's what we're going to do. Okay? So join up and support the work that we're doing here with Louisiana United International, a force for justice, exposing the injustice in our criminal justice system like never before. Go to our website at www.launitedi.com or call me at 985-503-0626. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye now.